Good morning. So, I hear all the time, oh, I don't even know where to begin. I just feel like there's so much information. I can't figure it out. I don't know what to do. And the beauty of what has been key in my own life for how I incorporate oils in my life is resources. Resources. And so I have become a bit of a nerd over the years, and I have tons of like oily books and stuff that I use, like like all of that stuff is stuff that I look into and dig into. I don't read them as novels. I read them as like encyclopedias when I need them. And so I wanted to show you firsthand what I did this morning. Somebody in my house came to me this morning and said, my lip is a little tingly. I think I might be getting a cold sore. And so I was like, oh, all right. They're like, can you get me some oils? And I was like, absolutely, because that's what I do. And what's fun is it's not just in my family that people come to me for oils, but people come to me with questions for oils all the time. I had a call yesterday from a mom whose daughter was having, other things. And I'm like, let me see what my fancy book says about this, right? And so I was able to kind of give her some tips. Speaking of which, I have to give her a call, see how she's doing. Anyway, so I went into my app. Although I have physical books, I also have a few apps on my phone that I can go to while I'm on the go or just whatever. And looked up cold sores. And so I didn't have all the oils on the list, but I went and grabbed as many oils as I could find. And so peppermint was one of them, blue cypress, lemon and lavender, and thieves, because thieves is amazing for all things, especially when it comes to like infections and bacteria and viral and all of these things. So, and then a couple of years ago, I learned to make a salve, which is really great for like dry skin and all that stuff. And so I had a small little container of a salve that I hadn't used yet, was unopened. And so I went and used that as my base. And then I grabbed those oils and I put like 3 of each, 3 drops each into a little container like this. And then I used my little handy little stick and moved it all around, made sure it was all good, and felt like I made too much. So because I'm not sure if this will get lost and there's still going to be a cold sore to deal with, I figured let me make a base and then I'll use the other one to kind of replenish and always have a little cold sore. It's really as simple as that. It's not super hard. It's not difficult. It's not like you have to know everything all at once. The key to getting started is knowing some basic safety things. And basically, some safety things are don't put it in your eyeballs. That will burn. And if it should ever get in your eyeballs, don't get soap and water from the, from your from the sink. Go into your kitchen cabinet, get some oil. Grab your avocado oil, your olive oil. Go into your oily stash and take out your grapeseed oil or a jojoba or whatever oil you've got. Get that and rub your eyes with it. Just kind of massage over your eyes with that carrier oil, and that will help to dilute and to draw away the oil. Water will only drive it in deeper, and it will not feel good if it's already burning, right? I only do that if you feel physical discomfort. That's how you know it's unsafe. It's not unsafe because it's going to do something to your insides that's happening secretly, behind the skin and behind whatever. It's not like that. So that whole safety feature is if it feels too hot, if it is uncomfortable, if you don't like the sensation that you're getting, if it's too strong and your eyes are tearing because peppermint is so strong, kind of thing, that's when you go ahead and grab that oil. So that's that. I never put oils inside your ears. Never, never, never. So if you're ever dealing with an ear issue, you never put oil inside. You always go behind and in front, because the ear, this is just the outer part, but the mechanism of the ear is actually way in this area. So applying oils to this space is actually going to give you the relief and the support that you need for that kind of thing. So that's another thing. But I went ahead, I looked in my app, I typed in cold sore, and it said boom, 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 tons of oils I could use, and the ones I showed you were the ones I had that were on that list. And here I am. I made this little thing. It was a little bit more solid than it is now. Now it feels like a little more, it's still quite solid. It's still a little bit solid, like it's not moving, but to the touch, it's much more like malleable. I think that's the word. But yeah, so the joke is that there's an oil for everything. And there is. And so, like, look, even right here, it's probably backwards, but even right here, sprain. Holy moly, a sprain? And so there's the sprain. What is a sprain? First, it'll tell you it's an injury with the ligament, blah, 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 blah. It'll tell you the recommendations of single oils that Young Living offers. It has some blends, some supplements that will support that, any creams, and then it'll tell you how to use it topically, ingest orally, like for real, for real, for real. It's just amazing. And so then it even has like little anecdotal things. So listen, we're not doctors, but guess what? We're all dealing with our bodies and we should all know what's going on with them, right? So the moment you get a little tingle on your lip, that usually means like something's coming on. The further thing, the deeper thing is that there's actually something more happening on the inside. It could be stress. It could be some kind of virus. It could be like whatever. And so adjusting those things too and kind of figuring out what do I do kind of thing. So I just wanted to give you that little tip because it's not hard. You don't have to feel super smart. You don't have to feel scared to use these things or to apply certain things on it. That salve that I told you was in this thing unused was olive oil and little pellets of wax and like lavender oil. And so the things in my arsenal, I do my best. I try really hard. I'd say I was probably closer. I'd say I'm about 85% like non-toxic. Talking about products, I'm at a place where food is the next thing to tackle. But because food is so expensive right now, it's becoming a little bit of a challenge. You gotta do the changes you can and then figure out what you're gonna do with the rest. But I'd say I'm about 85-90% like toxin free. Like there is probably 1 or 2, maybe 3 bottles of something in my entire house that is whatever. And I bet there's plenty more in one of my kids' rooms because one of them is more compliant than another. And I'm constantly redirecting. And because my kids aren't kids anymore, I'm doing my best to educate and provide insight and resources for them to make better decisions too, even though they've grown up with an oily what do they call it? What do they call us? Oh, tree huggers. That's what it is, tree huggers. Because, you know, I hug trees too. It's been a while, but I'll tell you about that another time. So yeah, it's really that simple. It's really that simple. I have a situation. I go to my resource. I pull out what I have. I take a look. I don't know if you can see this right now, but this right here, it's a little messy down at the bottom, but right there, those are some oils I've got. Those are some oils I've got. And beside my bed, I have a bunch. Right here on this little thing, I have the ones I just pulled from there to make this thing. Yeah,